Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening to everyone else, north, south, east, west, at home, at the dinner table, or cooking Thanksgiving dinner. This is the November 22nd, 2022 edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And I am your host and teacher and van driver and head cook, Mr. Michael Walker. Glad to have each and every one of y'all here with us on this evening. We hope that you had a great day. Your day been great. Your week been going great so far, especially with this week being Thanksgiving week, and the effect of, I guess, start of the big holiday season. So glad, we pray that everything's going well for you and what have you. And again, glad that you're taking an hour of your time on a Tuesday night to spend with me, and we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, folks. We have a bunch. But before we go any further though, a little quick announcement that, maybe I should have did this. Right here. Right there. Guess what? We got a dial-in number now. I could have had it. I just didn't know what I was doing though. But hey, if you want to call in and chime in during the conversations, hey, just call in and your fellow audience will hear you though. And as well as you can still comment in the comment section, and just ways you can communicate with each other. So that's the number if you want to call us though. Okay. So just write it down or take a picture of it or what have you. Okay, let us get with these few whatchamacallums, salutations. Sherry, glad to have you here, feeling forever thankful. That's right. Please feel forever thankful. I understand. Jenna, glad to have you here this evening. And you and I need to have a discussion. TikTok. Okay, we're gonna have to have a discussion. Who else? Brother Will Banks, happy Turkey Day in advance. SBCC family. Same to you, sir. Same to you. Pastor Chauncey, glad to have you here. Always a pleasure to have you here in the studio audience. Glad to have you here. Chanel Johnston, good evening, all blessing to you and yours. Same to you. Glad to have you here. Regina Lowry, always great to have you and hear from you, though. Great. Tia, fancy. Well, I think so too, but let's hope it works, though. Let's hope it works, though. Well, y'all coming in. That's great. Nina, glad to have you. Hey, y'all. Glad to have you here as well. Uh, yeah, she know what I'm talking about. She know what I'm talking about. Yvonne Rice, great to have you here again with us. Kimberly Murphy, always a pleasure to have you here with us. BB Will, always great to have you here from the Sunshine State. Y'all coming in pretty good. And Nina Montgomery, hello. Glad to have you here. Tarla from the ATL, always a pleasure to have each and every one of y'all here this evening. Okay, and again, you see the how would I do this? Okay, you see the number right there. In case you want to chime in and call and comment on what we're talking about tonight, hey, feel free to do it. This is our first time, so who knows what might happen tonight, though. Y'all ready? Let's get ready, though. Of course, it's you and I this evening, though, since it's a holiday, and just be more intimate with each other this evening, though. So let's get started. Oh, yeah. Wait, we got some more to come in. Relationship Ministry, Toronto. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Excited for tonight's topic. I am too. I'm loving this new format. Oh, thank you so much, Kimberly. With you saying that means a A whole lot. Glad that you approve. I mean that. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all ready? The first topic. The first topic is, have we, and we're going to kind of hit through these pretty fast. We got a lot of them, because especially one topic I really want to get into, but here we go. Have we, as the body of Christ, failed each other? Have we, as the body of Christ, failed each other? How did I come up with this topic? I was just perusing some videos, and I forgot this man, Tim, and I feel so bad to call him Pastor Tim for this conversation. He was talking about how the body of Christ has failed men in general, but I'm thinking about how we, men and women, have been failed. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Y'all take a listen.
You name me one man in secular culture that's the role model for me to follow. Is it Kanye? Is it Andrew Tate? Is it Jay-Z? In the Christian realm, who's putting you up on game? I know a lot of pastors that have great marriages and da-da-da-da-da, but are they showing you this is how you do this and this is how you're supposed to act and all that kind of stuff? And I just don't think a lot of these guys, and I'll just talk about Christian guys right now, I don't think they're hearing what they need to hear. And here's the thing. We are quick to put something together for women, but the counterpart for men is usually subpar. We get men in the room and the only thing we tell men is, hey, so let's have the porn talk. I want to have a message on lust because, guys in their eyes. We're not going to talk about this man's purpose. We're not going to talk about his assignment. We're not going to instruct him like Solomon did his son in the book of Proverbs. We have to help men on a case-by-case basis. Every man ain't struggling with the same thing. And we got to just stop lumping people in and saying, oh, well, hey, there's a lot of stuff that men deal with that's general, absolutely. But until you get into a one-on-one conversation, it's like, oh man, is that the way you feel about manhood? Or is this the way you feel about fatherhood? Or is this the pressure that you're dealing with? We have to be able to address that stuff and the nuances of it.
Okay. And so hence the first topic for tonight. Oh, if I can get to it, there you go, right there. Have we as the body of Christ failed each other? And like I'm saying, I'm going to use both men and women. And I just ask y'all, the studio audience, a question though, and please feel free to comment and what have you though. How many times have you been to these conferences? Women's conference, 2023, or you brothers been to a men's conference? Yes, you had an emotional enlightenment. You felt emotionally good, though. You were uplifted. You were tired from shouting and screaming and what have you, though. But how did you feel? Were your personal issues addressed by the speaker or the speakers? How were you treated? How did you feel? Did you feel like it really fed you, or was it all fluff and no substance? And A.B. Von Terry, my favorite, A.B. Von Williams Terry, we can definitely support each other more. Yes. And how are we doing, and what about us as ministry leaders? How are we supporting each other with these ministries? And I think the first thing comes to my mind is singles ministry. Y'all know how I go. Singles ministry at your church. And most 90%, 95% of the time, they get together once a month. They go bowling. They go eat somewhere, chit-chat a while, and they go their separate ways. Yeah, you had the fellowship. Yeah, you did something for at least once a month, though. But do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel like your issue was taken care of, though? Wait a minute. And Tarla says, I think the body of Christ has failed each other, ultimately failing Christ. You know what? That's pretty much good right there. That is good right there. And Tarla says, We are meant to edify each other. Yes. And I'm going to let that stay right there. And again, are you being helped by these ministries? Are these ministries really helping you? Or are you in a leadership position in these ministries? And are you helping those people, those who are looking up to you? So, and another thing though, and of course, and again, for those who's coming in late, if you want to chime in, please chime in the comment section. And also, if you like to call in, there was the number right there on the wherever that is at, right there, right here on the screen. I'm shaking. So if you want to call in, we'll test that out though. And if you don't, I'm not going to blame you. Trust me. Okay. And again, and this same pastor, he said something that was pretty near and dear to me when we talk about the youth ministry. And I know we have, and if you're part of a youth ministry, a leader, a teacher, assistant, please let us know in the comment section. I'm going to play something to him, from him rather. I'd like to hear what y'all got to say about this. Okay, here we go.
You know, I decline the majority of youth conferences in America. I'll readily jump on a plane to Australia in a minute for a youth conference filled with teenagers. I'll do it for the UK in a heartbeat. I'll do it for Singapore in a heartbeat. I'll do it for Malaysia in a heartbeat. I'll do it for South America in a heartbeat. Very rarely do I do it in America. But the majority of, here's why I stopped being interested in youth conferences out here unless I have a personal relationship or somebody close to me has a personal relationship with the movement, because they have like a $250,000 budget. They get the biggest band, dopest rap group, and they get these who's who speakers. For some reason, I'm still relevant in some way. And they bring us in to light them up, right? Come on, preach to them, get them, and all that kind of stuff. And then for the rest of the year, they feed them pizza, let them play games, and preach to them for 20 minutes. And it pisses me off. So you brought us in to throw flames on a fire that you won't stoke for the rest of the year. The freaking embers are out before they get back home. They're full of pizza, full of games, and your 20-minute nugget because, well, you can't preach them too long. They don't have a good attention span. You know how long they scroll through Instagram? Get your weight up.
Yeah.
Feed them the word of God. I'm glad they get pizza, but they better get the word. You're supposed to be making disciples of Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not a fan club.
Does some of that sound familiar? You know, we start a youth expo. You know, you have the speaker, like Brother Tim said, speak maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and the rest of the time, like he said, eating pizza and everything else. And kitty, yeah, exactly. And I know he's telling the truth because I've experienced that at least twice as part of youth ministry, not down in the local assemblies that were sponsoring it though, but he was telling the truth though. They were all over the place. And so, yeah, that was good right there. That was good. That was very good. Let me read some of these comments before I touch on that. Y'all coming in here real good. Lavina Horn, how you doing? My concern is that many times the food is being placed on the table, but those who need it won't come to the table. Ain't that the truth? Sister Sherry from Houston, I believe we are afraid to offend people by touching on subjects where we need to grow and develop in. Giving folks the feel-good feeling to stay at a particular church. Here we go. Chanel Johnson, it's difficult to really speak your mind in that context, to share your struggles with singleness without fear of judgment or marginalization. And that's a good point right there. That is a good point right there. You know, but but at what point as singles, and okay, not boasting or bragging, but you know, we have two groups, Single Black Christians and Single Black Christians Connections, affectionately known as SBC and SBCC. That's the place where we talk about it. And we make that a safe space for you to address those issues in a judgment-free zone. But guess what? Sometimes the judgment-free doesn't always work out that way. It doesn't always work out that way because you're still going to have someone that's going to point their finger at you and say, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be talking about that, especially when it's coming to sex. Oh, you shouldn't talk about that. So, let me see. Kitty says, sound like he's saying that in other countries, they do a better job of ministering to youth on a consistent basis. I wonder why he considered this an American problem. Hmm. You know what, Kitty? The best way I could say is maybe he's just going on what he's seen. Considering he's a pastor, I don't know. Now, is it only based in America? I don't know. We got a caller, y'all.
To accept, press 1.
Hold up.
Send a voicemail.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Mike, what's going on? This Chauncey.
We got, oh gosh. The first caller, and guess who's going to be? Brother Chauncey. How you doing, How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Doing good. Just nervous about this phone system.
Understand.
What's on your mind, my brother?
This topic is very interesting. I just want to chime in and give some perspective on it, especially when it comes to single community and how the church, I feel, fails to address the need, because this is a topic of conversation that I had with someone today about how the church does not address the needs of preparation to singleness for people who want to be married and other things. And I think the thing is that, and I told them the reason why a lot of millennials are leaving the church, because I feel like their needs ain't being met, because a lot of millennials are single and they're trying to navigate in the space. Well, how does this work? Like, in one way, how do I discern who is right for me? What red flags do I look for? And things like that. But they're so quick to do ministry and take you out, like you said, on the outing. Only thing, you can say I've had a good time, but what did I take personally that I can go back and evaluate and digest and start making some action about how do I do this? Because a lot of times in households, they're not getting it from their parents. Still are, but not many. Because if you look at how the black families or any families are shaped up in the 21st century, sometimes they single home with bashing going on, or they had to learn in the streets, which we know is all the wrong ways. So the great solution is that we really got to tackle the real issues that the people have to do effective ministry and singleness, and prepare people who have been called to marriage one day to do it effectively, so that it will be a trend from generation to generation. So that's all I have to say about that.
But let me say before you go, you hit on something good. When the Gen Z, the millennials, when they come home and not picking on anybody, but how can they learn about how to live with singleness or to deal with it or find that special person when they're coming home to a one-parent home? Not necessarily a single mother, but also a single father in some cases. So yeah, we're not teaching them. They have no role models to pattern themselves after. You know, I mean, as I'm 53, so I'm considered Generation X. If I haven't figured it out yet, how in the world am I gonna help Gen Y and Gen Z? So yeah, you got a good point there, brother. So thank you so much for calling. Please call again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that worked out pretty good, though. That worked out real good. I'll put the number back on here in case. Just let us know if you want to call. And again, that's the number, 205-881-2269. If you want to chime in, though. So, or you could write down in the comment section. Either way it go. Yeah, this is a hot topic this night. Let me go back to the comment section. What Kitty says. This isn't necessarily a church issue, but rather individual churches issue. There are churches with good youth ministries, I'm sure, And yeah, like I kind of gave the disclaimer, I guess, earlier in this topic, you know, each individual local assembly is different from the other. You know, how Church A um, youth ministry may go, Church B might be completely different. But I can still say from what I have saw, I'm just going on what I've witnessed, that just how the brother described in the video, pizza, video games, a few things, and maybe 15 to 10 minutes of exegesis of the scripture. And that's it, maybe 20. So I don't know what's the answer is, you know, and we can only hit up upon so many topics so many times, especially when it comes to the adults. Go back to what he said about men. I just say men and women, you know, yes, we discuss sex. We're gonna talk about it kind of sorta in this episode tonight though. But how many times can we really hit on it though? Yes, do we need to discuss sex? Yes. I say this all the time. 9 times out of 10, that's how most of us got here, through sex. So need to be discussed, not in graphic detail, but how to stay pure, how to, I don't know. I don't even know what I want to say. I don't even know what to say. Andrea, glad to have you here. Wow, our children have their own church services and ministry. Well, you know what? I'm glad. Let me put a pin right there. Children's church. I know, I'm pretty sure you and everyone else out there in the studio audience are familiar with that term, children's church. Oh, and again, it goes from church to church. Some children's church is nothing but singing songs, puppet shows, and eating light snacks from those old nasty juices I don't like. Those cheap juices and those butter cookies that you put on your ring, that's what you had, that's what they do. And then you may have some that may go deep into the word though. But how deep can you go with the children though? So I'm glad you said that. Thank you so much though. And again, here's the number. I put it on here. La 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 la. Oh yes, here you go. And again, and of course, if you want to dial in, we had our first one. Make sure you dial in if you want to, 205-881-2269. And before we move on, to say this. Well, we got some more. Hold on. Let me see. And Andrea says, I'm blessed, and so were my children. They learn the word and discuss everything. Okay. So we coming upon a new year. So how we as single practitioners of the Christian faith, how will we deal with our singleness? How we will help each other? How will we become better representations of our Christian faith? What we going to do? I know I need work, and so do all. So I don't know what else to say on that though, but we do need help. We need to do better than what we're doing. But of course, the ministry's got to be better. I think we all in this together. Okay. That was pretty good right there. We got another topic. We got another topic moving on pretty fast. We got a lot of stuff to cover though. I'm glad you're here with us though. I really appreciate that. But before we move on, you know the idea. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. Okay. It's going to be a big twist right here. And I'm about to show you a video clip. And it's not safe for work. It got a lot of cussing in it and some content in it, though. So, make sure your ears are prepared for this. And here we go. I just put the topic up here first. how some men approach women in dating. How some men approach women in dating. Here's the video. Here's the video.
When men are approaching women, we have a game plan in mind according to who we think you are. Certain women that we see, and it's like, this shit ain't gonna take no effort. I could half-ass this. I could roll off the couch and go to the gym and put up 50 with you because I know what your history is. You ain't used to dating like me. You used to dating terrible men. So I could give half-ass effort over here and still do my thing.
I met you at 9 a.m. I was beating at 10:30.
Right. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, right? But then there's certain women who it's like, okay, I got to bring my lunch pail. That's a sports reference if y'all never played ball, right? But that means that this is going to take a little bit of work. I need to do some research. I need to get a bit romantic. I need to get creative. I need to be consistent. Things of that nature, right? But you know that upon the approach.
Yeah.
Told you it was something rough. I told you, I warned you, it was something rough. How some men approach women in dating. And of course, if you want to chime in, gentlemen and ladies, dial 205-881-2269 to join in. Okay. A bit of transparency here. A lot of that, what he said, at least from what I've dealt with, can apply, is true. You know, if I have, and I'm speaking for myself, and I hope y'all don't look at me crazy after this, but if it's a sister that I have respect for, back in the day, let me stop using present tense, but back in the day, I would be on my A game, get a haircut when I had hair, shave, trim my whiskers, put on my best cologne, which might have been Dre Car back in the day, so you know how old I am. Put on my best clothes and what have you. Put on my best rap, as in talking rapport. And that's what I do. I be on my A game, just like the brother said. Might as well, you better bring a lunch bucket because you're going to have to do some work. However, and I say this so embarrassingly and shamefully, if it was someone I felt I knew I could have, I did the bare minimum. I won't say I just came any kind of way, but I did the bare minimum. And 9 times out of 10, that worked. So I feel a little bad about that. Well, I feel bad about that period, though. You know, letting y'all know that, though. And again, that's transparency there. Are all men like that? I can't speak for all men, but I just say there are definitely some. And then again, it might flip out. Maybe there's some women with that same, see that, you know, that Greek god that they'll put out their best foot forward. But if that nerdy guy, whatever, or a person like me, hey, they probably do the bare minimum, though. Oh, the comments coming in, though. Here we go. I'm thinking, let me see. I think this goes to the previous one, but Tiffany says, I don't disagree with the brother. This door swing both ways with the response and the energy given. And I don't know if she's talking about that or the previous topic, but it applies both ways. Kitty says, if she only requires the bare minimum, that absolutely, that's her fault. That's her fault, but we got to do better too, though. Tiffany. We are all walking advertisements, but you determine the type of customers you attract. That is so true. That is so true. Trudy Purnell says this can also be a woman's point of view also. And it can be. It can be. So how much though, and I put this back on here, how much does respect comes into it? What is it about that person you're respecting? Now we know we're looking at the physical. We got that out the way. We got the surface. We got the physical though. But what is it about that person? Do they seem smart, intelligent, cultured, social, that you say, I really need to step up? Or that person seemed easy to please, or easy to impress, though. Take them to a restaurant. Wow, they think it's top-notch dining, when it's Mom Mamie's Chicken Ranch. So, I mean, it could be anything, though. This, wait, let me see. Let me see what Trudy says. Truthfully, men of God should not be approaching women of God in this new mind, right? Well, absolutely. I agree. But guess what, though? This is not in his new mind. So I guess you're saying it's transforming. Well, like I said, it's been going on for quite a while, though. This been going on quite a while. Kitty says, if he's interested, he'll step up. If he's looking for something easy, he will move on. That's a good one. That's a good one. Missionary Madison says, no, they shouldn't, but the key is men of God. Okay. Alberta says, we should teach ourselves and other people what is deserved, acceptable, and expected. And going back to the singles topic of, tonight, though, we have to teach ourselves. Sometimes we ask ourselves in the singles, thinking about our singleness, is it something we're doing wrong? Am I making myself worthy? Like Tiffany says, and I make that post again. We are all we are all walking advertisements, but you determine the type of customers you attract. So, and have you ever wondered about that? I'm going to let that stay right there. Have you ever just sat back and wondered, why are you attracting the same men? Why are you attracting the same women all the time? Have you just sat down there and thought about that? And I hate to sound like it, though, but might not be someone you want, though. But you always attract that same type. Is it something you're doing wrong, or is it that you're thinking more of yourself than you should, though? What's going on with that? Well, I'm enjoying y'all tonight, though. And Sherry says, come to me respectable and don't come at all. I hear you, Sister Sherry. I hear you, Sister Sherry from Houston, though. But again, back to the question I just asked. Why are we attracting the same type of individual all the time? What is it that we're doing? What is it that I'm doing? What is it that you're doing that's attracting these people? That's something to think about, though. Ooh, my voice. And of course, if you want to, of course, dial 205-881-2269. 205-881-2265. And wait, what's this? Eric James, glad to have you here, brother. We prioritize our wants versus our needs. Let me read that again. We prioritize our wants versus our needs. And that is the truth right there. Sister Turner says, that's a good question, Mike. If I knew, I would change. I'm just saying. It would be that simple. In fact, if we all really knew the answer to that question, if we truly knew the answer to that question, then we wouldn't need groups like SBC, SBCC, live streams such as this one. Even though I do enjoy y'all, but the after parties, though, maybe we don't. I don't know. Maybe it's a time and a reason, I guess. Sister Madison, it can be experience or what we are comfortable with. Sometimes we haven't been exposed to anything else. But that's something to think about right there. It can be experience or what we are comfortable with. So how many of y'all are content with that same type of person. Yeah, you don't like attracting that same type of person, but what are you doing? Are you content? Do you just go on with the relationship till it ends or what have you, though? Are you content? Do you have a sense of contentment with the same type of person? Go ahead, Angela. I like that. Charlita Evans, glad to have you here. It is, so is it so we attract our who, so it is so we attract or who we choose? I think it's a little bit of both. We may be attracting all types, but perhaps we're choosing a certain type. And that's a good point right there. That's a good point. Back in the day, I would only approach a certain type because I felt that I wasn't, not low self-esteem, but I just felt I wasn't on her level. I didn't want to waste her time though. So sometimes it was like that as well though. Not to saying that the ones that I felt that were on my level weren't good. Hey, those fantastic relationships though. We're just not together anymore. So I'm glad you brought that up. Sister Madison. Just get stuck hoping for better and better never comes. Contentment. You decide to choose to be with that person, but you just say, you know what, I'm just going to stay here. So, Lavinia Horn, glad to have you here. God knows those places. And if we ask him, listen, and don't reject his answer, we'll know and be open to healing. That's a good one right there. Glad you said that. Better will come eventually. That's true. But the thing is, how long? How long do we wait? Is it something, is it really God's timing, in his will, or maybe he's waiting on us to do what we need to do? Which one is it? Which one is it, folks? And of course, I put the number up there again just in case, though. Glad to have y'all here. Y'all doing an excellent job, though. A show is only as good as its audience, and y'all doing a fantabulous good job right here. So, so let me ask y'all this. How many of y'all are surprised at what the brother said? Especially you sisters, though. How many of y'all are surprised at what he said, that the logic, the modus operandi that he uses to approach a woman? How many of y'all surprised by that? How many of y'all shocked? How many of y'all not surprised by that? Let us know in the comment section. Let us know in the comment section. Okay then. I guess, and if there's nothing else, I guess I'll move on. We got one person. Y'all turning it up tonight. Okay. Not surprised. Okay. We got one not surprised. K Kemp, not surprised. Okay. Jenna, I'm not surprised at all. Okay. Marcus Wilbanks, glad to have you, brother. I'm not shocked. Certain people do have an inexperienced mind in a grown adult's body. We don't know the unpredictable approach they will take to pick their interests. Okay. Lavinia Horn, I'm not surprised. My brother told me about that years ago. It shocked me then. Okay, so you had an early start on it. Okay. Valerie from Rocket Town, glad to have you here. I'm not surprised. Charlita, not surprised at all. I've always been told a man sizes a woman up before making his move. Okay. Sister Lowry, Regina, not surprised. Okay. Tiffany Murphy, not surprised. Kathy Leach, glad to have you here. Nope, not surprised. Theodora from Philly, glad to have you here. Not surprised. Okay. Angela Madison, of course, not surprised by what he said. Oh, y'all coming in good. Thank you. Sister Purnell. Someone said that we have to be healed. I say delivered. I think we allow God to reveal us to us, and we know our worth, and we know that we are truly the prize. Then we would change positions to choose when different type of men and women approach us. Okay. Excuse me. Good evening. Sis Johnson. No surprise. My male friends have shared plenty of insider knowledge or trade secrets. Tiffany Murphy. We as people treat spaces and people based on our perception. This video just simplified the explanation. And RMT says, not surprised at all, because these are the same men, on a date. Okay. Dwight Sloan says, yo. Okay. Figured that right there. Well, I'm surprised that he just was bold enough to say that, though. But then in this day and age, I'm not too surprised, though. RMT says, I'm not surprised because these are the same men on dating, portraying themselves as men of God who are ready for marriage, but they don't understand what that entails. I think that goes for both genders. I believe that can apply to both genders, though. This video represents unsaved men. Do you have anything from saved men? Well, Purnell, how you know they're not? It may not be perfect, and they may not be walking in the light, though, but how do we know they're not practitioners of the Christian faith? How do we know? Something to think about. I can understand what you're asking, though. I definitely understand what you're asking, though. Well, that's good right there. I'm trying to say, okay, you will know them by their fruit. Fair enough. You can't, if you go to an apple tree and it has oranges, then it's not an apple tree, it's an orange tree, right? Fair enough. Rhonda says, she's thanking y'all. Okay. Well, we'll move on. Y'all moving on pretty fast, though. Y'all, I can't keep up with y'all tonight, though. Okay. Before we move on, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. And let's get this one more comment in. Some of them say, man, and do thinking, yeah, absolutely. Women too, it's both. Okay, we're going to the next topic. And of course, I'll put the phone number up here. We almost finished, y'all. We almost finished. I'm trying to see which way do I. Oh, this is a good one. I think I do this one. I think this is a good one to send us home. Come on. Colorism in dating. Colorism in dating. And again, colorism in dating. And for those who don't know what colorism is, it is differential treatment based on skin color, especially favoritism toward those with a lighter skin tone, and mistreatment or exclusion of those with a darker skin tone, typically among those of the same racial group or ethnicity. So, how many of y'all have dealt with colorism? How many of y'all experience colorism? How many of y'all think colorism is kind of playing an effect in your dating life, in your relationship? And of course, it wouldn't be me. I have a clip. and beautiful chocolate woman. Here you go.
When I was on that dating app, a lot of black men would date me because I look like the attractive dark skin. As a dark skinned woman, you only get desired or viewed as attractive if you're like, you have a small nose and big lips and like, like the Ryan Destiny. It's a whole different game in Africa. But in America, like they don't view like women who look like Leslie Jones, for example, as attractive. Like we just seen a reporter who basically bashed her for her looks and called her masculine because she has a wide nose. But like they literally called her masculine, and it's like she's not actually masculine. She just has Afrocentric features that doesn't fit the European beauty standard. So a lot of black men, they'll desire me because I'm an experiment to them.
The number one skin product that's sold across the world is skin lightening creams
in countries that have been colonized.
Yeah,
and well, no,
closer to white.
But I'm just
right.
saying it's specifically countries. So you're not gonna go to where you have dark. So Sicilians, they're very dark skinned Italians. They're not bleaching their skin.
Yeah.
Italy wasn't colonized, so that's why I was making the historical reference. Like it's places that were
part
colonized.
of them, because I have Italian family.
I don't.
But what I'm saying is I have Italian family. So like if you were dark, like if you would be like, yo, are you Italian? They'd be like, no, I'm Sicilian.
Yeah.
And if I say, are you Sicilian? They'd be like, no, I'm Italian.
Okay. And for the record, I find Leslie Jones very attractive. Hey, that's me though. So colorism in dating. Colorism in dating. So how many of y'all have experienced that on either side of the skin tone? Okay. Charlita raises her hand. Wow. Okay. And Angela Manson said he used to for me. And Kitty says not for me. Okay. Dwight Sloan says, I've dealt with it and actually had it benefit me. However, contrary to the professional world, in dating, there is no DEI. Please explain to us what that is. You have a personal choice and right to exclude wine you don't want or like. Yeah. She does look masculine and has nothing. Okay. Has nothing to do with African features though. So, back in the day, we got another one. Y'all coming in here pretty quick. Tarla says, as a community, we have to stop judging each other. Colorism, and it does. It sure enough does. Okay. Thank you, Charlita. Thank you for helping this old man out. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. Thank you so much. Eric James, I didn't know that was a thing outside of high school. It's still going on. I don't know. I share this story with y'all. It was years ago. It was over 20 years ago. This nice looking brown chocolate woman wanted to date me. Why she wanted to date me? Because she said I was light skinned and she wanted to produce light skinned babies. She wanted me to father light skinned babies for her. Now, any baby is a beautiful baby. And it's sad that, there's some people, some mothers would love to have a baby regardless of the shade in the skin tone, And the crazy thing about that is she already had an older daughter that was brown skin just like her. There's something to share right there. Yeah, Marcus, I'm with you on that one. Right there. Kitty says, we winding up. Kitty says, colorism is an issue amongst Black people, period. There has been many times in this group where people have made offensive comments about light skin. I agree with you. And next time that happens, please report it. Please. And I'm sorry you saw that right there. Okay. Dwight says, we do the same thing with height, weight, and any other characteristic that we may want or like in a potential partner. True that, true that, true that. Angela Madison says, my mom was near white in appearance, and some guys when I was younger thought I'd get them pretty kids with good hair. Like Judge Lauren Lake says, all hair is good hair. You know, I wish I still had it. So all hair is good hair. So yeah, that's a good one right there. So, and again, it happens. You know, it used to happen back in the day. You know, me being a child or teenager of the 80s, oh, light skin. The pretty brothers was like, the pretty boys was light skin. Then it changed to dark skin was in, then light skin. I'm like this. If that person treats you right, you find them attractive regardless of their skin tone, then that's who you ought to have. Plain and simple, though. So don't let colorism. And you know what, Ebony? Glad to have you here. Someone didn't understand how genetics work. Absolutely. 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 I know. And Tarla, you know, this is a good place to stop this part right here. All skin is beautiful. You said a mouthful right there. All skin is beautiful. We're gonna hit our last topic. But before we do, please like, please subscribe, and please share. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. Okay, we got one more video. And it's a church song. It's a church song. And it's called, well, Keep Your Business Off of Facebook. Keep your business off of Facebook. Here we go.
Your business off of Facebook. You need to keep your business. Keep your business. You need to keep your business off of
Yep. Let me get these comments in. I just watched that the other day. Yep. There you go. Yep. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yep. That's it. You know, I wonder how they came up with that, Dwight. I don't know how they came up with that. I don't know why they did that. Where was Pastor? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Angela Matt. Thank you for your stars and your support. Listen. Tarla says, I'm over here clapping and patting my foot. Did I find that video on Facebook? No, I found it on TikTok. Right there. I wrote the whole song. And you know, they said, mess with somebody's wife or cheat on your wife or something. I don't know. It's crazy. They need to haze the choir director. Oh, Kitty says they too old. Now that's ageism right there, Kitty. Now that's ageism right there. You know, there's plenty of older folks on there though. But the pie is good. I agree with you with the pie. You know, I agree with you about that pie. Ain't nothing with it. Okay. Marcus, if that's not a motto to the metaverse, I don't know what is. Okay. Karen Pratt, glad to have you here. I'm too through. Yeah, those how she said through. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well, folks, guess what? What? We got one more, I guess. Yeah, well, me too. Okay. Now, folks, guess what? We're out of time. We are out of time. That hour went by at warp speed, though. Wow. Glad to have y'all here. let's do the announcements. Coming up this Saturday, we're going to have the last Saturday night social of the month of November of this year. Come join us. We have a good time. We have a great time at the Saturday night social. What we'll be doing, what we'll be talking about, I have no idea. Maybe we'll trade apple pies or something like that. And if it's the Lord's will, we'll come right back next Tuesday for another fun-filled edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. Okay, and glad to have each one of y'all here. Glad to have y'all here. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. I truly appreciate y'all. And Trudy says, how do y'all join? I'll let her know in the comment section. Thank you all so much. And you and yours have a blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Please remember to love on each other. And let me put this up right quick. And this could be a bad time for some people. And if you need someone to talk to, please, this is the suicide. Please call. If you need someone to talk to, you're not going through this by yourself. Okay. And if it's nothing else, we see y'all later. Love each and every one of y'all. And then I guess if that's it, if I can find the music, if that's it, then guess what? Y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye, y'all.